So today I thought about a little bit about something I wanted to do, and well, today we will rank all the XCOM starting bonuses, but instead of ranking them like you would normally expect in terms of, well, how good they are in terms of gameplay, we will rank them instead on how cool they are. So we'll have here this a little bit, changed tier list with S being super cool. And we will now analyze step by step all the country bonuses and how cool they are. Because what is the mod if it's not cool, right? And I want the starting bonus to be first and foremost all cool, so that people are actually interested in playing the mod. Because imagine only like a few are cool and people look at mod and they're like, doesn't sound that good. Like for example, imagine the first starting bonus player like looks at as this starting bonus. Like the soldiers get 8 HP and he's like, oh wow, crazy. So we will go one by one to all the bonuses and rank them on how cool they are and where Ucros has to, well, make stuff cooler. And we can also add maybe ideas on what Ucros could do later. So let's start with For the Sake of Glory. All injury soldiers' time are reduced by, injuries and fatigues are reduced by 50%. So twice as likely to receive a quirk after mission. I think this is really good already. Like injuries and fatigues are like core mechanics of the mod, and reducing them by 50 is very good. Plus it introduces 4 new players. This is also, I think, many starting bonuses should have. They should like introduce new concepts of the mod, because this is probably one of the first things a player would look at. Okay, what different starting bonuses are there and can I see comparison? So I would say For the Sake of Glory is already pretty good. So we can already rank this pretty high. Now I need to find it here. Why is this also colorful? Makes it just harder. I cannot find it here. Wait a second. For the Sake of Glory, finally. So, I would say for now an 8 here. I think that's already pretty good. Let's go to the next one. Desert Storm. AP grenades gain 2 penetration and shred twice as much, and equip AP grenades gets 2. I think that sounds pretty damn cool, because like more pen, more shred, more uses. Like the only thing you could add like to this is like throw range. Doesn't matter how strong it is, that sounds really cool. So how's it called? Desert Storm, definitely a good one. One word, Desert Storm. Desert Storm. I think it goes next to S tier. Sounds really cool. It's a cool idea, making those specific grenades really OP. I like that. Then we have Pack Nigeriana. Interesting name. Mobility. No. Is there already? Let's find it first. Pack Nigeria. This is don't care. Like, who cares about mobility, right? That is not cool. Like, mobility is good, of course. It's a stat, and stat increases are always good, but it's a boring one, right? I mean, mobility is like, it doesn't really do much. It allows you to position it a little better. allows you to take some opportunities that you couldn't. But it is neither extremely strong, but neither extremely cool. It doesn't really do much. Like, it's just, it also doesn't give you like a feeling of speed, you know? Like, for example, like helium tubes could be added to this so the shifts are really fast or something like this. Like something unique about this is missing, which makes this starting bonus, I feel, a little bit bad. So I would say, no, just trash. Advanced conservation. All makes max faster, have a ton more HP, ton more aim, will, and base DR. That is cool. Strong OP max. Hey, who doesn't like more OP max, right? Also advanced conservation, definitive up there. Whoever make this colorful, I gonna kill this guy someday. Advanced preservation, conservation. That is so hard to find. You know what? It's no advanced preparation. When we find the other ones, sometimes there where you switch it out. I don't care right now. Also that's definitely cool. Then we have Breathe Tough. All soldiers maxed out with 1 base HP and 50 EDR. It's cool, right? But it's still too much onto pure stat bullshit. So Breathe Tough, I'm not really fan of that. I think it's not cool and unique enough. Got that. There. I think it is maybe here. It has some coolness factor to it. Right, gives you a little bit HP, gives you a little DR, but it doesn't have anything unique to it. So person thinks like, well, DR is cool, right? Base HP is cool, helps a little, and it gives that to like bias and max, stronger max, that's cool, but also not more, right? Makes it a little bit boring. Now we have resourceful, right? We get just generally more resources out of UFOs, and we start with the UFO scavenger, not more. I would say that this is pretty boring. It is literally just more resources after UFOs. And that's it. I think this is pretty trash in terms of coolness. So resourceful I would put pretty low. Others who don't care or fuck off. I think we put it very, very low. Like, who's excited about to start like this? Who thinks like, yes, I get more resources after UFOs? No. Maybe I put it one higher, but generally no. Then we have all bias soldiers start with 4 HP, survival training. That is the worst of the worst. Survival training is just so bad and so unfun and so uncool as a starting bonus that I, to this day, am still surprised that it is there, because who cares? Like, who cares? There needs to be something more interesting about it. Right? Maybe the fatigue is here reduced and here added, maybe if with like 65%, like having like really, really fit soldiers, I don't know, but it needs to be more unique. That is just boring. This sounds extremely cool until you know how this stuff actually works, but it is still a cool start, so it is definitely higher. I mean, stats that increase over a month, that's cool. Would find on this very complicated name. should be able to find forwards, right? It's forwards, no? Yeah. There. So I would say it's either here or here. I think it's a little cool, but also not that many player pick it, so maybe we should put it here. Right. Let's go to the next one. Outbreak Rocketeers. Rocketeers have 2 more damage, minus 50 scatter. It costs 0 AP to fire them, and 2 initial soldiers are Rocketeers. Perfect. That is super cool. You get more damage, which is good. You get less scatter, which annoys you the fuck. You need no AP to use a rocket, so you can just use a perfect rocket and still then holo the floaters or shoot at them and kill them, whatever. And you get more Rocketeers. That is, in terms of coolness, really good. I think that is a good start. Outbreak. There. Definitiv up there. Let's go to the next one. Robotics. All max and shifts receive 30 aim. We have to compare this to the 20 aim we get here. Right? If we would talk about balance, we would think about here 40 aim for shiz, here 30 aims for shiz, and here 20 aims for max, and here 30 aims for max, right? So for example, here we our shift also gain 30 aim, but here we gain like mobility and DR for the max. So it is interesting in a different version, right? So robotics, you could say, is kind of cool, but I will still say it's less cool. So it's probably alone robotics. So I would say C tier maybe. It's cool, right? Max are very accurate, shifts are very accurate, helps, but it's not that cool. It's kind of cool, but not that cool. Oops. Schnell weg. Then we have Endless Barrage. Endless Barrage is interesting. Gunner suppression fire stronger, right? Then gunners gain more ammo, and rockets penetrate 2 more, and we get 2 more rockets, right? And then additional soldiers stun also as gunners shoot rocketeer. And here I split, because 2 rockets are of course cool, but you will in most mission not use them, because most missions are not long enough to even use them. The pen is kind of irrelevant. It's nice, it helps, it's cool for sure, but it's kind of irrelevant. And the ammo is also kind of weird. It helps, sure, but generally ammo is not really that cool, and also more suppression damage is absolutely not that cool. Suppression generally is just uncool. It's not a cool thing in itself. So making a starting bonus around that thing, I think is pretty bad. I think Endless Barrage is kinda I don't care, or worse, it's not really that good. Right? Not really cool start. Is Endless Barrage a magazine? Endless Barrage. So I would say don't care. It's not a good start. Probably not a start many would pick. It's kind of Now we're in China. We go to assembly line. Start with 2 workshops, both next to each other. Start with 5 engineers in your home base. Room for maintaining cost of workshops. That's cool, right? If you just like items and you want to produce early on very a lot, and you just want to have some nice bonuses, I think assembly line is for sure a cooler start. It's not, of course, the insane start, right? Also, because you only start with 5, you can't like immediately build like a Nexus, but you can build it very early on, so you can rush with this. You can make some aggressive strategies, right? Because getting 5 engineers is not that hard. Then you can build a satellite Nexus, and then you can expand, getting immediately your production bonuses or expanding height to a different country. The assembly line has potential of being cool, because you will get 5 engineers fast enough for your computer system. So assembly line, I think, is definitively higher up there. I swear. There's... Okay. I would say it's either interesting or kinda little cool. It's hard to say. I mean, starting with is really kinda cool, eigentlich, right? You can produce more items very fast. You have lower cost for almost everything. And you can expand very quickly to your own thing, and then you can rush the lower cost boardings items that gives you just 20% more Illyrium alloys and weapon fragment. That's just cool. That's just a cool thing that you can do. That's just very, very nice. And I have Red Army. Engineers heal 8 HP more. They have 3 users, and the initial 2 soldiers are engineers. Come on, right? 20 HP healing plus 3 more users. So it's 12, 11, 10, and 9. Which is 20, 30, and 42 HP on max. Max tanks are back. That's cool. That's just cool. As a Red Army repair, that has to be another S tier. That's just cool. That's just a cool one. That is just really, really cool. Let's go continue. Xeno market credit itself and corporate ranks kept increased by 8. It's also respectable. It's also respectable in terms of coolness factor, right? We're kind of like criminal here, right? But also not that unique or insane. It's just a different method of getting money. So we'll not rank it that high. It will be a little bit lower, but it is not terrible. Even it's kind of standard, because again, corpses are used for different methods. So there are some more unique decisions you then have to make with the start. But it's not that high. I would for now put it here. So maybe lower, but it is good. Then we have Deus Ex, and Deus Ex is just really cool. Acquiring gene modification grants both the gene mods modifier for the body part. So we basically can have a soldier who has all the genetic modifications. Right? That is just really cool. The problem I have with this thing is just that many gene mods are just so specific. Gene mods are, funny enough, not general. Very specific. They kind of only do one thing. And then very strong, of course, but that makes more gene mods not particularly that much usable. So it is in its concept very cool, but the gene mods itself are kind of like meh. But the idea of getting more gene mods, that's just cool. So Deus Ex I have to also put up there. Maybe on B level, because again the gene mods itself are not always useful if you get both, but it is still cool. How can I not find Deus Ex? It cannot be. There it is. I put an S tier because the idea is just, and this is what we're valuing here, is just really cool, right? 2G modifiers, that's a cool thing, that's a cool idea, that's a cool start, absolutely. Then let's go to the next thing, J7, increase bonus of laboratories, gain double scientists from abductions, increase starting Illyrium. This is a start which is interesting. You gain double tier scientists from abductions, which is purely random. So you could be really lucky and get a lab very early on, or you don't. You have better research speed for laboratories, that is nice, and you start with Salmalino. I have to say this is shit. It is completely random, it's a little bit of a buff, and it's a little bit of resources. No one cares. JJ1 is terrible. In terms of coolness, this is terrible. This is, no? Yeah, Javan. It's terrible. I just don't care. It's a bad start. Then we have Javan. Increased fire rate of aircraft by 35%. And the passive was 50%, which was much cooler. But it is still cool. So definitely still good. We can for sure put it here. Nothing to mecha about. Then we have Demolition Doctrine. Grants 2 damage and 2 penetration to all explosives. That is interesting. Because explosives are of course really strong. And 2 damage is very cool, especially because the whole team can have just grenades and just constantly use them. 2 pen is of course very interesting. Makes explosive generally just overall stronger. But the thing is, you transition away from everyone using grenades very early on, and then you have only a few soldiers which do enjoy the extra damage and bonus and everything. I'm not sure on how cool this is. Like, you look at this and you're like, yeah, it's cool, but is it that cool? I think it's already like middle down the line. It's not that cool, but it is cool. It is cool. Right? Especially early on, you will feel kind of cool. So, it's difficult to decide how high I would put this. Maybe B tier, maybe C tier. Hard to decide. First of all, I need to find this. God, the color mix is so difficult. Like, I would like to put it in B tier because it does help a lot, right? It helps grenade massively, makes grenades generally better. But I'm not sure if I really like it that much. But I think I put it in B tier because grenades are just loved, right? And buffing grenades is just cool. Ring of Fire, we don't have to talk about this. This is S tier. It's probably one of the best starts ever in terms of coolness and viability. A start where I was for a long time even not sure why it was never nerfed. Now it was randomly nerfed to a tier list, which I find always interesting. But it's a cool start. You just get more money. You can just make gold mines. Like, hello, that's cool. That's cool. That is just really good. Let's go to the next one. Ghost in the Machine. 40 aim is massive, right? It just changes your shift from having like a 40% miss to an 80% hit. The only problem I have with this is that it directly is in competition with robotics, which gives 30 aims also to every mech. And it is in the same Asian country, right? So we only lose 10 aim, but for the future we get it on every fucking mech. And just for this purpose I have to put it lower than robotics. Because it's just less cooler, right? And we already put it low. Should I put it a little bit higher? It is cooler, but this means that here Ghost in the Shell or Ghost in the Machine is just no. It's also not I don't care, but it's definitively not up there with robotics. Definitively not up there. Then we have Bushido training. Most soldiers gain 10 defense, which is cool, and get 2% chance for rage inside. This is super awkward. Rage is cool, obviously, but it's so random, right? There's not like a build-up or something. Like, it would be cooler that for each damage, like a certain percent meter is like filled or something like this, or a certain chance increases. And then if your team is really just beaten, has like no HP or something, the soldiers really often gain 18 rage or something. So that on good missions you don't get it, but on bad missions you get it a lot. I don't know. I find the idea definitive cool, right? It's Bushido training definitive just because it has rage in it should be high. It's just difficult to say if it's like here. Like, is it really B tier or is it like C tier? How cool is it? I mean, you will have mission where you don't even see it, so I will just put low, right? It's not that cool, right? Even rage is extremely cool. Then we have Carry Commander, start with soldier from Master class, with start with an additional soldier of a Japanese Master Sergeant of Random class. To this day, I don't understand why this specific soldier has also to be random class, because you can just reset the campaign until you get the class you want. So just make it that you can just choose for this one simple soldier like what you want. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's so weird, but how's it called? Career Commander, absolute S tier. It's another super cool start. It is really manageable. It's very cool. I like it. Later on maybe I will reshuffle because I'm not happy with all of them right now. But now we go to Global Network. Global Network is interesting. Makes this ends cheaper for XCOM. Nicht for XCOM, for Exalt. Grey markets sell higher stuff. Countries are twice as likely to aid the airstrikes or tactical mission, which is cool. Grants additional soldier on Exalt missions, which is cool. And start with Grey market, which is cool. I think it's just an overall cool beat here. God damn it. Global Network. I think there's nothing bad to say about this. Like, doesn't like sound like it doesn't sound that unique, but it has like many different like cool little things that are really cool. So I think Global Network is surely up there. Right, because black market is cool, airstrikes are cool, having more soldiers is cool, lower cost is cool, the little things that go together. Then we have Kui or DC or Dorsey. Counter requests occur 50% faster, fulfilling provides 50% more counter defense, and intel scan costs 50% less. Yeah, that's just a stat bonus bullshit. That's just, who cares? Also occurs is just bad. Like, who cares? Who is excited about taking a start like this? No one. No one takes this start because he's excited to play it, right? A different thing is already here. Legion Precision, right? Sniper and scales gain 4 pen, 40 crit, and high 2 initial soldiers are like snipers and scouts. And this is already cool, but I would add also to this that mayhem pass-through damage is maybe doubled or even tripled, right? Because if you pass through, it's only like 2 damage. Early game is kind of like, who cares? But like 6 damage, that would be kind of more. So that could be added here, because reward for better pass-through damage is of course cool. But 4 pen, 4 crit, a Thomas snipers, like what more? That just sounds cool, right? Legion Precision is just very cool. Legion Precision, yeah. Like, I find it at least a little cool. It's pretty good. Then we have Fort Legion, and that is just insane, right? You start with 18 more additional soldiers. You have salaries reduced by 60%, right? Active and fatigue soldiers get also XP every turn. And I think that is just very cool, because you start just with so many chunks, right? You don't start with like, I don't know, 15, 12, I don't know how many you start with the barracks, but you start with 18, right? And if you just map through it, how much money this is, it's just a ton of money, right? And also the cost is reduced for soldiers to, like, generally massively, right? And I gain XP each month. That alone is just really cool, right? Means the further you go in the month, desto faster is the XP growth. So for Legion, I have to put kind of an S tier. At least for me, I think it's a very good start. I mean, cool start. I mean, start makes really excited, right? Because you have so many jumps, right? Like one thing you could like add that would make this even cooler would be like, we also like recruitment costs, which you probably don't want to do anyway, but would be massively lowered, so that you just don't care about your soldier that much because you have so many. But yeah, cool idea. Then we have some works. Item production is reduced massively. Stops all 3 elevators. Start with a fission, workshop, foundry, repair bay, build, and start with 10 extra engineers. So you can rush immediately in different nexus. You have a lot faster production, basically same as assembly line. That is almost just better as assembly line if I think about this. Right, workshops just make stuff cheaper. Right, this is what we have to keep in mind. This is much cheaper, but this is also much faster. Right, so you could just rush certain items which normally would take forever, but they are done in a reasonably time. So I probably will put assembly line lower and put skunk work, kind of this is supposed to be for the German word, higher up. Higher. I think that's a little cool. Right, then we have Baumaster, start with again all elevators, thermal build, and facility construction and mech augmentation is reduced by 75%. Right, so instead of like 20 days for mech, you wait 5. That is interesting. So we can augment soldiers at a much higher rate. But it will also add here that the items should be produced at a reasonable rate for mech items itself should also be produced faster, I think, to make it more interesting. But it would be very interesting if you just want to rush mechs, right? If you want to have mech right then, right now, let's go, Baumeister. Very interesting. Right, so you would gain just early on strength just with Baumeister. I think that's cool. I think it has to be high up. Because mechs are cool. Like anything that affects mechs is cool, because mechs are cool. Then we have all mechs and shift gain 2.6 mobility, so not the bonus aim, not the bonus HP, not the bonus thing, right? And reduced cast or line required for mech shift in the primary weapons. So everything is cheaper, right? It's massively cheaper, 50% cheaper for mechs things. I hope the armors count as well. And they're just way faster, right? So Neopanzer, again, another cool idea. Another thing where you could say like, yeah, absolutely want to test this out. Like 2.6 mech, 2.6 mobility faster max, that's kind of cool, right? But you then say kind of like, yeah, I wait for the 20 days, but at least I get really cool max, right? So very interesting. Maybe Beast here, because it's mostly just stat upgrades. Nah, put it. Max are cool. Then we have militarization. Twice officer builds are unlocked from OTS upgrades. Officers, double number of common charges, grants additional 2 units on 8 of your side missions. I don't know how this cannot be cool. This is the kind of like only line, but it makes this perk just so much cooler. Like more soldiers are cooler, right? So absolutely something that we have to put in like super cool tier. More soldiers is always cooler. Then we have our shots have pen. Who cares? Stat bonus, it's a good stat bonus, but who cares? Also Master is not really cool in any way. It's not unique. It's not interesting in any way. It is not terrible, but it's not cool. so I just don't care. Like, you would also not be excited to play it, you would be like more interested to play it. This on the other hand is way more interesting. Like a ton more base damage, right, to all shots which made in an at close range, right? So you just want to have a lot of hit and runs, you just want to have a lot of assaults, you just want to be aggressive, you want to have a more rounder, right? 20 damage, nah, more like, how much would this be? More like 26 damage, bam, and then you shred, and then it has like 35 damage, and boom, and everything's dead. That's just cool, right? That's just cool. It's just a question of S tier, but I think because you have to work for your coolness, it's kind of A tier, I guess, but it is pretty cool. Then we have shifts hit much harder and they have much more DR. And then it's very interesting because it makes shifts very tanky, especially later on. You can have a very tanky shift, can absorb very much hits, and it has a ton of damage. Like, just drive around a cyber disc and hit it for like bajillion damage. It's kind of good. But just a tanky shift, I don't think it's that cool. It is cool because shifts are cool, but it is not that cool. So Urabaga is, I kind of like maybe C tier. It's not that cool, but it is somewhat cool. Soldier gain XP is cool, but it's not feeling cool when you play it, right? You get like early on a little bit faster soldiers, and that's about it. And there are other perks that give you more than just XP. I don't know how I should feel about this. It's not terrible because XP is cool, but I would not put like higher in B tier. I think it's C tier. Soviet Sea, I think was the name, is not the coolest thing in the world. It's Roscosmos, I don't like it. Like, established +2 satellite uplinks and all satellites are cheaper. Who cares? Who cares? Like, who cares about this? Who is excited to play this? I don't see it. I don't see like how you could be excited. Like, I don't really want to put in fuck off because they are all the terrible, really terrible things should be. But it's also not exciting. I would absolutely almost put it there. Then we have special air service, also just that with more aim. I can't see the usefulness of this. In terms of coolness, like, who cares about aim? No one is excited about laser weapons. So I'm for sure not excited of getting more aim. But again, you might be thinking like, oh, I make like shoot heavy build. Fine. So C tier will be. But not higher. It's just, that's bullshit. MI6. So. MI6 is the coolest fucking start that XCOM Long War Rebellions has right now available. There is nothing that is cooler. That is the coolest fucking XCOM start right now. The main reason why I play again. It is so goddamn cool. It needs its own tier basically. Like everything needs to be put one tier down just so we can have MI6 on its own tier. So good it is. Really nice. Then we have the Hardfinder's Hour. A little more dodge, easier repairs. And we gain no malus for things, which then ask why you want effective repairs. I think the Finder's Hour is terrible. With 10 dodge it's more interesting, but like with 5 dodge it's just terrible. It's just so uncool. Like, who cares? No one cares. So I don't care. Then we have Stardust reduced fatigue mission to reduced mission fatigue and the requirements to unlock projects in the officer school. That's nice. Fast XP, fast officers, that's cool. that grant additional unit to ace on all base assaults and exalt base assault missions. Base assaults are difficult, so having an additional soldier is absolutely cool there, and exalt base assault is the same. And because the rest is cool, I think Stardust is pretty nice. Right? For sure, at least a little cool. Then we go to advanced preparation. Start with 8 soldiers, a workshop, a laboratory, a fission generator, an additional scientist and engineers at your home base. This start was put at, I think, the top of the tier list. I think it was like the best thing to take in the campaign because it gives you so much. It gives you scientists, it gives you engineers, it gives you a lab, it gives you a workshop, it gives you additional soldiers, it gives you all elevators. Like, it gives you so much. Like, the only thing it doesn't give you is blowjob, but except of that, it gives you almost everything. But none of it is cool. Like, sure, it gives you a trillion bajillion money, right? But it's not cool, right? It's not a cool start, right? Because who cares about all that? Like, the 8 soldiers are cool, obviously. More soldiers is always cool. Just because you don't have to buy and wait for them, and you don't really care about injuries then that much. But the rest is like whatever. So you cannot put it that high in terms of coolness. Right, as advanced preparation, like, I can't. Now is a time where we have to switch the one for the other one, but I don't see anything that is advanced in the name. Because if you remember, we had like here top something that has like this advanced name. Yeah, advanced conservation was it. But you still don't see it, even with so many less. It's not here. Advanced conservation just is not here. I don't know, man. Right? Yeah. Where do we put it? Well, then we don't very advanced conservation because I don't find it. Right? I put it here again. It's not terrible, but it's also not insane. It's not interesting in any way. You would only tick it because it's good. Basically because it gives you a ton of money. But then again, you can make some rushes, so at least it should be like C or B. Or just good stats in general could also be interesting. I mean, you get everything faster. Let's put a B tier. I think B tier is fair. That's not terrible in terms of coolness because you get so much, but it's not that cool in general, so it's kind of. Then we have here Cadera. 5 soldiers are high in rank, and they gain preservation, making them fatigue and stuff very short. And as a fatigued soldiers get a lot of XP, this makes just Cadera just very cool. Very high up there, maybe even S tier. Yeah, let's just put it, because leveled up soldiers is cool, usually more is cool, and XP is cool, but it's not that cool. So it's just more like A cool. It's just very cool, but not that cool, not ST cool. Then we have first responders. Make start with 4 additional medkits. That is insane. And can heal with medkits for 0 HP. Medics heals 2 more HP and have now cooldown the initial 2 soldiers are medics. So okay. So medics have no cooldown. You can heal with medics for 0 HP and they heal 2 more. So okay, so let's get me straight. So let's say I have a tank with like 13 HP. I go to this guy, right, with nothing more than just my medkits, which I don't even have to equip because 4 more is just enough. We've just immediately additional items, not more. And it can just heal for 6, 5, it's already basically up, and then can heal another one, and I'm not even mostly burned through my stuff. I have still like 4 medkits, I can still heal another tank for like huge amounts of level. It's such a cool thing. Right. Also first of all, I think that's so fucking cool. It would be also very unique on like a medic tank, but it is just very cool. I feel like this is maybe not even there yet because it's too new. No, it is there. Yeah, I think S tier, that's just very cool. Like, I think just generally those stats are just very cool in nature. It doesn't matter how good they are, they're just very cool. Right? We're more here prepared to heal. Right? Medic starts with 3 extra medkits. Engineer starts with 3 more users. Okay, so like a mixed mix. XCOM is immune to healing fatigue. The initial 2 soldier by the things. That is very interesting line, healing fatigue. Meaning, we could have a healing tank, right? This guy has 6 medkits without equipping 1. And each medkit will heal him for 5, right? So we have, without doing anything, with actually unequipping a medkit, like a 30 HP healable. That's a ton. Normally, even with like 4 medkit and like the 1 medkit equipped, because 4, right? We would have 5, 4, 3, 2. Right, so it's 5, 5 plus 4 is 14, right? We have also 14 HP normally, but with this, even if we don't equip the 1 medkit, which would be then 35, we have 30 HP healable, right? So we could have medkit tanks, well, medic tanks, which are basically unkillable. And also, shifts are just very strong. Like, instead of healing 1 time for 4, right? No, it's 5, right? It's 5, right? We can heal for much more. And if we position our stuff correctly, we can increase the healing because of the support bonus by 1. So instead of having like 30 or like 20, we could have 36 and 24 HP healed, right? Huge more, right? And if we have another medic kit, then not 36, but then 42 HP, right? So we could heal 42 HP in the mission, right? Without any bonuses. Later on, if we get +2, +35% heal, after this we get so much heal from this. We can heal like probably 50, 60, maybe even 70 HP on a single soldier. This is so much. Like a medkit tank would be so unkillable, right? So unkillable, so indestructible, that the only thing you need is damage, right? You would have like your medkit tank, that thing is unkillable later on, right? You have your Shiv and your engineer, which is also kind of ZB tanked build, but which will provide a Shiv with basically unkillable abilities, because the Shiv then has like basically the ability for the medkit where all 4 damage it heals 1 and you have so much heal, and you have just a very strong team. So prepare for hell. I think it's very cool. I think that's very cool start, and after reading that, maybe even make a campaign with that. It's just very cool. Very cool. Then we have research focus. Start with 2 laboratory. Remove the maintenance cost for laboratories. Research spamming is cool. But then I ask myself, why don't we get a few resources? Because research spam is cool, obviously, but you want to use them for something. And you don't really get any resources here more. So you kind of have the research, but you can't really use it. But they are still used for this, which makes this cool. And zwar the UFOs research. Because they are insanely long, but they're also insanely profitable. More damage, more resources, and here you can actually rush the shit. So I think reserve focus has some uniqueness to it and some capabilities of being a cool start, but it's kind of, but it is not ST my opinion, but high up there. So reserve focus, good. Then we have beneficiary. I don't know how I should feel about this, because sure, you get maybe like, if you directly get like a loan like 50,000 at the beginning of your campaign, you can build whatever you want. But I don't think that is that good. Like, there are better starts that give you more. If you just want money, then there are much better things, and it's also not mechanically interesting. Like, loans also generally were nerfed because you get lower day by day income. So who cares? I think that beneficiary is just extremely uncool. But it has still some coolness to it, which I think it makes it not in this tier. But it just needs some more coolness aspect to it. It's just not good. I don't like it. Now we come to Ancient Artifacts, which is interesting. With Ancient Artifact, we start with 500 mil, super cool. We start with the Exalt base items, hell yeah. We start with the Blaster Launcher, which we cannot research, of course. We start with the Fusion Lens, which we also cannot use it, but we'll start with so much bullshit. And as soon as we unlock the research, we can immediately use stuff. And we have the Exalt base item. We have so much metal. It's just so cool. Like, I think Ancient Artifact is absolutely one cool hell of a start. I would at least put it A tier, if not also C tier. Like it is just so cool, especially because like it's like the only way how you get these items early, right? Here. So it's really cool, and there are not bad items. They are really cool items, and they change the strategy there because they give you new dimensions of strategies that beforehand couldn't be things, right? Then you have Legacy of Uxamax, reduces alien levels per psionic soldiers, and psionic soldiers train faster. That is cool, but also it's very small, so you don't really know, okay, how good is this? How much do I reduce like the alien level? Can I stop the alien level? But it is cool because it is very, very close to game breaking, right? Obviously it isn't, but it's very close. So basically it's the idea. So it is like an A tier. I think it's A tier because it's of course balanced, so it's not that OP, so it's off the coolness factor a little bit, but it is cool. But you could then also say like, but I don't really get anything while I'm playing with it, and that's probably true. And again, because it's balanced and you don't really will feel it, at least for a long time. I put it a little bit lower. Maybe a Special Warfare, where we get office training suit purchases are cheaper, much cheaper. We start with tactical rigging, which is already cool. We start with armor conservation, which is insanely cool. We start with all the pistol stuff. We start with so many projects, and we start in America, which is very good. That I just can say that that's a cool start. The Special Warfare School, that's just a cool start. So many projects, that has to be cool. Now let's go to the next one. Eagle Surveillance. Sniper gain double A from squad side. Scout starts with 2 additional battle scanners, and the 2 initial soldiers are sniper plus scout. Okay, so we would never equip a battle scanner, and the thing is, we have 3 battle scanner per scout, right? Or 4 if we equip one. And battle scanners are good. They are 20 aim, right? So you could have a very, very shoot-orientated battle, and to be honest, this is better in terms of aim and crit than the other start, which just gave you biological soldiers just 13 aim, and that was it. Eagle Surveillance is better. Where was the aim start? Special Air Service. Yeah, no, that's terrible. Where is it? Here, special air service. Nah, that's terrible. If we have a start like this, which just gives basically that, but just better, I think we have to put it in FT because it's so bad. And we put this higher because it's cooler. It's not insanely cool. Also because I maybe don't understand maybe the aim from squad side. So maybe it's higher, maybe it's a little bit cool, but scanners are not that cool, but they are cool, I guess. So I put in beat here, and that should be it, I guess. Almost finished, guys, almost finished. Bring the heat when outnumbers by aliens or extraterrestrials gain 50 TR. First of all, I don't understand where the downside is, because that should be all the time a thing, right? So it should be just all the time active, but generally it's just cool. Like 50 TR? Hell yeah, also just unkillable, right? Also bring the heat, absolutely a cool thing. I think it's cool. That's cool. Then we have all gas, no brakes. RAM is much easier to do, right? Or two additional soldiers are from assault, and we triple the RAM damage. That's important. So instead of 7, we do 21, right? So we can easily one-shot like an alien, and especially later on, if we get the things that I think also double that, should then massively increase the damage, right? That is cool. Also all gas, no brakes is a cool, definitive start. Shifts are cool. I don't think it's S tier, but it's definitely up there. It's a cool start. And then we go to Shireen Mountains, start with 1 additional uplink, settle uplink capacity, all elevators and excavation costs are reduced by 70. It's a money start. It gives you some bullshit, but basically it's just a money start. And I feel also this is so random. I cannot really put this at anything than uninteresting. Shireen Mountain is just bad. No one is excited for this. Like, sure, you can excavate much faster because it's much cheaper, but they're better money starts. Starts that already give you the buildings. It's not really that interesting. Especially after the excavation changes. In the past it was very good because you could very easily excavate in the bottom, which was very expensive, so there was no problem, right? But now you kind of get like in a V excavate, and the costs slowly increase while you're doing this. So it's less needed because the really expensive ones are also the last ones you will excavate anyway, right? So it's very unnecessary. Then we have ways. I think we have ways, even if it was nerfed multiple times, which I don't understand really. It's just always good. Because interrogations are very strong, and this allows you to get them early. But because it was nerfed to 60, I think it lost its interesting factor. Like the speed insta interrogations were really funny. But it's still a very cool thing. I think we have ways is still one of the cooler things, especially because it's so unique, because it gives you better arc weapons early on, motion tracker. Also gives you some illusion. But to be honest, it's just that we have ways aspect, so I have to put it lower. It is cool, but it's not S tier. Then we start with Daredevil, start with 3 interceptors, crit. Combat patrols are 4 times effective and have so much less damage. That is cool. You can just constantly have like pilots fly and fly and fly. And if you're good at terror missions, which you will get a ton, then maybe that's even a better option, right? Just build your team in terms of anti-terror missions and then just do a ton of terror missions. Who cares about abductions, right? I mean, you have all these annoying aliens there. You have like Newtons and Seekers and this and I mean, just get a few terror missions. Just only shoot like crystallets. Like save a lot of civilians, get some free money, right? I mean, that's obviously the better option. I mean, what could go wrong on a terror mission? So sure, that's a cool start for a really good player, right? Who can actually handle terror missions quite well and actually knows what the hell they're doing in them. It's probably even maybe the best one, because you can change like abduction for terror missions, on which you always have the option to get like more money. So it is interesting. I will not talk about this thing. This is just F tier. It's a terrible stat bullshit start. It gives you nothing, and it's so uninteresting. Go away. Then we have infantry and assaults have 20% chance for shots to cost 0 AP and grants 4 armor to primary weapon and 2 armors to pistol weapon. Initial 2 soldiers are assault infantry. This is interesting because it allows mostly allows infantry to shoot relentlessly. Right, we already have one that have like 10% chance for shoots to not turn ending. Plus this would be 35, so you could have a soldier who can shoot a lot. And plus 4 primary ammo is really good because it allows you to have ammo without needing to equipping ammo, right? Because battle rifles have only 2 ammo, with this they have 6 ammo. You don't need to equip more. Pistols have also 4 ammo. You don't need to equip anything more, right? It's just very strong. What I also find interesting, this is the only start which says in terms of ammo, not specifically non-electronic, right? That's the first start, but does not specifically says it. And I'm right now questioning myself. It probably doesn't work, but if it would work, that I have plus 4 armor arc pistols and plus 6 armor arc rifles, and I have a high chance that the ammo is not turn ending, and I could maybe shoot like 3 or 4 times at the mechanical enemy with arc weapons. Is that possible? If yes, then this is immediately S tier. That would be immediately S tier, and I'm not sure if this is working or not. I assume because it specifically does not say this, right? Because it says plus 4 armor on primary weapon and plus 4 on pistols, and the pistols and arc weapons is the primary weapon. I assume this has to work, and if it has to work, then Endless Magazine is obviously S tier, because that is fucking cool. If it doesn't work, it would still be cool. It would still be between S and A tier, because it's just very cool to spam shots. There's nothing cooler than that. Just to shoot. It's very cool. So interesting. Then let's go to public heroes. We gain double credit, double scientist, double engineers for the abduction, and we get 2 additional units on abductions. How the hell can we not like this? Right? We can train easily soldiers. We have to imagine this. We gain just flat XP for each soldier. As each soldier gets flat XP, and if its soldier is missing, then this additional XP gets redistributed, right? So what we could do is we could play still with 6 soldiers, and because of the missing 2 extra soldiers which we could bring, we just get a huge XP buff. So we could train our soldiers extremely fast, or on hard abductions, right, where we're not sure if we can do it. If we have like a huge engineer or scientist abduction, we can just bring the insane S tier and just easily demission, right? Also because on how missions work in terms of extra money if you do them fast. If you just have generally more enemies, you can get them fast. So with 8 soldiers, you have a good chance after like a swarming mission to get like another 100 to 200 money extra, right? So I think public heroes is like another S tier, just because it's very cool. And of course, not everything is abduction, but in the beginning it is abduction, and it allows you to become stronger very fast, and crash UFOs are not really that annoying. Um, let's go about the last ones very fast because I need to get my food. All soldiers have mobility. Reduce engine time by 70% instead with tactical rigging, and you start with a shit ton of money. That's good. That's just a cool start. Tactical rigging is cool. A lot of money is cool. Other stuff is cool, but it is not that cool, so we put it here. Ready for war. A lot of money. You get more fusion core and some other bullshit. Similar, uninteresting. Who cares? Then Amazonian strength, throw range, nope. Born to fly, hell yeah. If you wanna shoot something down, that's the start for you. And that's about it. That is my tier list of how cool a start is. Maybe we'll reshuffle a little bit off screen, but yeah, that's about this. These were my thoughts. And yeah, everything that's down here should be rethought in terms of how it could be made cooler. In terms of, not in terms of balancing, but in terms of how cool it feels. So I hope it was interesting, and bye guys.